And they're so upset with President Trump not making up, President Trump labeling the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And now President Trump has named the Lake of Ontario to Lake of America. They're upset about it. And they got to thinking. The Democrats want to erase President Trump's name from everything. So everything that President Trump is naming, they want to undo it. Now, you know what? It should be the Gulf of America. It should be the Lake of America. I mean, really, think about it. And President Trump doing executive orders, and Canada can't do nothing about it. And of course, they're going to say, no, it's not. It's still Lake of Ontario. It's the Lake of Ontario. No, it's the Lake of America. I like it. Now, look, there's a lot of awesome people in Canada. I mean, there's people in Canada that watch LFA TV. There's people in Canada that supports Will Johnson. There's awesome people in Canada. I would love to visit Canada. I just want them to get rid of the liberals. And just like I love to visit California, I just want them to get rid of the liberals. Same thing, right? And there's a lot of conservatives, a lot of people in Canada that love their country. They just don't want the liberals to be there. We see it all over the place. Now, President Trump, he's trolling these people. He's absolutely trolling them. And that's how I see this. President Trump is trolling them. He's getting under their skin. President Trump put his name on the Kennedy Center. They're all upset about it. President Trump building a helipad so that the helicopter can actually land safely. They don't want President Trump to build it. Why? Because his name will be on it. His stamp will be on it. The ballroom, which many years they've talked about building a ballroom at the White House. And here comes President Trump doing it. They don't want it there. And I showed you the video. Jeremy even showed you the video. Many of you have already seen the video where they're talking about blowing up the ballroom because Trump's name will be on it. Any city that has Trump Tower on it, they want to burn it down. They want to erase President Trump's name from history, like President Trump never happened. One of the biggest things that they're already talking about is impeaching President Trump, which you are all aware of. They wanted to remove President Trump. And I've said this before, and this is just my opinion. Okay, just my opinion on this. More than likely it's going to be right, but unless we can stop it. They're going to make it against the law for us to even mention President Trump and any good thing that he has done. Because they're saying that what he's doing is tearing up the country. He's taking a sledgehammer to the United States of America, which sometimes, like the White House, the ballroom, you have to take a sledgehammer and tear it down and build it back up and make it beautiful. But the Democrats don't want that. The Democrats want the United States of America. They want the people here to live in rat-infested conditions. That's what they want. Well, let me show you kind of some of the stuff I'm talking about here. Here's John Bolton. And this dude here, John Bolton, to my understanding, he's going to jail because he lied, right? John Bolton. Listen to John Bolton here. He's straight up saying what President Trump is doing is trolling the stupid liberals. And they're straight up falling for it.
In the first term, I was in the Oval Office one day, and I walked in to tell him something, and Trump was in the middle of dictating a tweet to Dan Scavino, who was his tweeter-in-chief. Now he's Deputy White House Chief of Staff. That's how you rise in the Trump administration. But anyway, Trump's dictating, and he turns to Scavino at one point and says, capitalize every word in that last sentence. And then he turns to me and he said, you know why I do that? And I said, no, why? And he said, because it drives them crazy. And that's what Trump is doing to Canada. Lake America, forget Lake Ontario. He's trolling them, and you can't let that get to you.
They don't care. Oh, he's trolling us. He's trolling us. You know what it is? Their feelings are getting hurt. That's what it comes down to. Their feelings are getting hurt. So because their feelings are hurt, they're like, oh my goodness, President Trump is doing this to us. I can't believe President Trump has done this. He's making my feelings hurt. He's making me angry. President Trump is trolling these people. Just like when President Trump put on the hat, Trump 2028. President Trump is going to be done after this term. I'm telling you right now, without talking directly to President Trump, he's going to be done after this term. He's going to be at the point where he said, you know what, I've done all I could do. It's up to you now, the American people. He's going to pass the baton. But nonetheless, he still creates this big, beautiful hat that says Trump 2028 on it. And they get triggered by it. Oh, he's trying to violate the Constitution. Because, see, liberals are so dumbed down. They're so stupid. They know good and well that they're being trolled, but they can't comprehend it. And I love it. I mean, I really do. I love President Trump's sense of humor because he does stuff. And you know what? He has every right to do an executive order. I think personally, it should be Lake of America. I mean, really, it should be. President Trump is going to go down in history as the greatest president in American history. And you and I got to experience it. That's the reason why they want to remove President Trump's name from everything, because they have to try to erase him. And they want to control the history. They want to control it. They want to tell everybody what happened. Now, let me give you an example really quick before I go on to this next one. It's just like they're constantly telling us that the party switch. How many times have y'all heard that? Every time you start talking about Democrats and Republicans, they always say the party switched, but they can never tell you exactly when it switched. Oh, it was over a period of time, or it was happened during LBJ or XYZ. It happened different times. The parties never switch. And I've mentioned this multiple times. The only thing that switched were the tactics of the Democrat Party. That's the only thing that switched. But they want us to believe that there was a switch, right? You're familiar with that, right? 100%. But there wasn't. So now they want to try to erase the history and have us believe that there was a switch and get us to believe that the Republican Party of today is the Republican Party then that was enslaving people. Because they want to change the history. Y'all get that, right? Y'all get that. But going back to the lake, I mean, look, they're beautifully triggered. I mean, they really are. They're beautifully triggered. They're all so triggered so much. And I'm liking it. I have a problem, and I've been told before that I have a problem because I like telling liberals the truth just to see how they react. Because we live in a day and age where they're trying to convince people that a man in a dress is all of a sudden a woman. I mean, and then they get angry with you when you don't go along with it. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Have some respect, dude. I'm like, I'm gonna respect reality. But listen to this. This is an extremely short clip. If you're not listening, you probably might miss it too. This is still talking about the Lake of America.
I think that this goes really hard if you're stupid, but I think that people with functioning brains like myself are seeing this as a distraction. This doesn't matter. What matters is that Trump started.
And of course, they're talking about the lake. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so devastating. It's devastating. He changed the name. How many of you believe that the Democrats, they get the opportunity, they would change the United States of America to something else? Just really quick. How many, just really think about it. Would they change the name of the United States of America to something else? I think, personally, they would go along with whatever the Islamists change it to. They would change it to something related to Islam, and the Democrats would go along with it. Because why would you be upset when calling a location right here in America, North America, South America, the Gulf of America? Why would you be upset about that? Why would you be upset about calling it Lake of America? There's this one video with this idiot liberal in Canada, of all places, complaining about, oh, Lake Ontario's indigenous. Everything is indigenous, right? When the Democrats want to fight for something, they call it indigenous. Like, you can't change the name. But they didn't have any issues changing the names of Fort Bragg. Oh, come on now. They didn't have the issues of changing a football team. They don't have the issues of changing the names that they're feeling so emotional about. But the name changes that President Trump is doing makes complete sense. That's what they don't like. That's what they don't like. Well, I have another one I want to show you. This is in Canada as well. I believe this is in Canada, where the liberals are so upset about President Trump. And they're trying to act like, oh, President Trump is just doing this like he's an old man who had nothing else better to do. Stupid liberals. Watch this.
You know when like a rock band is really over the hill and you see them like in a casino playing some song from like 50 years ago? I think that's the part of Donald Trump's presidency we're at now. Like he thought he had a real hit, a real golden oldie with the Gulf of Mexico, and he's trying to bring back that. He's trying to play the hits for his base. But I think everybody here thinks it's a little sad and it's not his best work.
I mean, really? That's all you got, dude? That's all you got? I mean, really? They're butthurt about this. I mean, why care? Why care? He's just changing the name. Have you heard of, what is it, MapQuest? Have you ever heard about that? I forgot all about MapQuest. Well, apparently MapQuest has an X account. And they have like 18,000 followers, 18,000 people following the page MapQuest. Well, MapQuest put a statement out there talking about President Trump changing the name of Lake Ontario to the Lake of America. And they're butthurt about it. They said, we will not be changing the name. They have the name MapQuest, right? So they're basically going against President Trump in executive order. Now, I'm wondering if MapQuest is an American-based company, and they're putting out information after the executive order's been putting out there. They're basically deceiving the people because they don't want the people to know the truth. They don't want people to know what President Trump has done. Here's one out of Canada. Now, I know this one's out of Canada for sure. I'm pretty sure the last one was out of Canada too, because I can only imagine how the liberals in Canada feel about this. Oh my goodness, how dare he? How dare he? He's taking us over. With the whole trade thing going on too. The Demoncrats, the socialists in Canada, none of them are happy about any of it.
Rachel, I know you're out west. You're not sitting next to Lake Ontario like Michelle and Andrew are today. Might mean less to folks out west, but certainly it's a big thing in central Canada. Do you think that Trump overplayed his hand here? Because I'm seeing a lot of online commentary. Granted, it's online, but there's a lot of Democratic and Republican voices saying this is not really what we need to be doing right now. It just seems like an unnecessary escalation in this feud with Canada.
Well, I think that it's important out here, too. I think it is a attack on Canada. And I think as a country, we care about moves like this, regardless of our geographical location within the country. But there's an old, political maneuver that when things are going really bad, and we've seen it in this country before, change the channel. And we've seen this equation with Donald Trump before, where he has, taken the Gulf of Mexico and renamed that when negotiations went bad there. It's feeling very much like a branding exercise for a president who is trying to portray to the American public that he is still in a position of strength. And we've talked many times in the last few weeks about his eroding support within the U.S. public. And so that plays into this strategy that he wants to show that although, we don't recognize it legally, it still remains Lake Ontario. He does have certain levers that he can pull to take hold of the conversation around trade, around.
They're so upset. They're so upset. You know the reason why they're upset. So let me break it down for you like this. Let's say Will Johnson, before President Trump did an executive order to say it was Lake America. What if President Will Johnson, right? What if Will Johnson just start putting statements out there and saying Lake of America, and I showed the map? What do you think all of these news organizations would do? They would completely ignore me. They would ignore the statement. Wouldn't even acknowledge it, nothing. So why are they not doing the same thing here with President Trump? If they're not going to acknowledge the new name, If they're not going to acknowledge the executive order, if they're not going to acknowledge the Lake of America, then why talk about it? Because they're so triggered. They're triggered by anything that President Trump does. And again, it's almost like breathing air. If President Trump came out and told people to start breathing air, they'll be triggered by the air we breathe. I mean, they kind of are right now. You've heard of climate change? They're triggered by it. If I'm just waiting for the day for President Trump to do a video, he walks outside and takes a deep breath and says, I encourage everybody, take a minute, take it all in, and take a deep breath. What do you think they would do? They'll probably get some, bags and stuff and start say, oh, I'm not breathing air. I'm not breathing air because Trump said it. This is what we're dealing with in our society. It's really not a laughing matter because people will actually probably do some things that they should not be doing to themselves because President Trump told people to breathe air. And then when people, stupid liberals out there, do the opposite of what President Trump is suggesting that they do, breathe air, they'll blame President Trump for all of the people dropping off. They would. Oh, it's his fault. He did this. He told them to not breathe air. They'll lie and tell them not breathe. Then why would they be listening to that? There's something truly wrong on the planet. All of these people that have this mindset that Trump is just bad, Trump is the problem, they all keep thinking this. Why? Because they've been told to. They all have it in their mind that it's all because of Trump. Trump is the problem. Trump. They're all thinking this. Let me give you another example. This is them on the Communist News Network talking about the Lake of America. And again, they're triggered by it.
Well, you guys are getting the troll aspect of it wrong. It's not a troll on Canada. It's a troll on the media because you've all done what he wanted tonight, which is he put this out there and then the chyrons all changed to be about this. And my question to you would be, since it's renaming things is now a problem, were we a serious country when the Biden administration was renaming our military bases? Were we a serious country then? But we're not a serious country now for renaming a lake to Lake of America? I just want to know.
Listen, the military bases were being renamed.
The United States can renamed.
Now you see, look, now they're all jumping in there. Now they're all triggered. Like, oh my goodness, you're reading the military bases, they're racist. How many times have you heard these radical leftist, lunatic, socialist, Islamic Demoncrats say that the United States of America is racist? At what point are they going to try to rename the United States of America? At some point, they're going to. They're complaining about all of these military bases, anything that is labeled that reminds them of what the racist Democrats did in the past. They are going to want to change the name of the United States of America because guess what? What was the name of the country when slavery was here? What did we call this country? This is not even a trick question. It's a no-brainer. I'm telling you, look, just for full transparency here, no Democrats have said that they want to change the United States of America. Okay, the name. It's full transparency here. I'm telling you my viewpoint, my opinion about this, because they wanted to change the names of all of these military locations and the football teams, et cetera, because they said it was racist. They've even gone back and said that Abraham Lincoln, the statue of Abraham Lincoln, should be removed because it reminded them of slavery. So at some point, I think everybody's starting to catch on. At some point, they're going to make the move to try to change the name of this country because it reminds them of what they did, the Demoncrats, to black people back in the day. And even before it was called the United States of America, the indigenous people had a name for it, right? They always go back to it. I think Bad Moon put it in there, They had a name before then. They're going to try to go back to that name at some point. Tell me I'm wrong. And again, they haven't came out and said it. I'm saying it first. And then watch it. I'm telling you, it's going to start coming because all of these name changes that President Trump is doing is getting under their skin. Now, it was under my skin when what's the name of the football team? The Redskins? That was like, man, that's a tough team. That's a tough name. Or the Chiefs, right? Oh, that's a tough name. But they changed it to something else. Why? Because the radical leftist lunatics were like, oh my goodness, it's so racist, it's so racist. Or Fort Braggs. My father was stationed at Fort Braggs. I was a kid at Fort Braggs. I was in Fort Braggs. I'll never forget it. I think I was I don't remember how old I was. But I remember we were living in military housing. And I remember looking out the window one day and it was snow all on the ground. And I recognized, and I'm, maybe this is even before I was in the kindergarten. It's like one of the only memories, a couple memories that I had at the early stages of my life. One of the very first memories that I had. And I remember telling myself or saying to myself that I'm alive. Because I'm seeing snow for the first time. It was something that stuck with me all this time. And I was in Fort Braggs. Fort Braggs. So I don't want them to change the name. Just like the statues that are in various places throughout the country that reminds us of the history of the Democrat Party. I don't want them taking those statues down. Like Charlottesville. Charlottesville, I would have been one of those on the side that the Demoncrats are saying are bad people. Not talking about the tiki torches. I'm not talking about the ones that were in line with Hillary Clinton or getting paid by the SPLC. I'm talking about those of us that want to have the history remain. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So all of this comes right down to the United States of America. Is there anybody watching right now to be like, Will Johnson, you're off the mark there. You're off the mark. And you have every right to say so. You have every right to believe so. But I believe at some point they're going to try to change the name if they ever get back into power because they want to erase everything that's related to President Trump. And they're reminding them, the Gulf of America is going to remind them of President Trump throughout history. It's going to go down on paper that the president of the United States of America at the time was Donald J. Trump, renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Rightfully so. Same thing in Canada. The Lake of Ontario to the Lake of America. Everything is going to remind, and President Trump does an ocean. Oh, game over for the Democrats. Game over. What's going to end up happening, he changed the name. He changed that name. They're going to get extremely on the violent side. Extremely on the violent side. Extremely on the violent side. To the point to where you're going to see them come out with the violence. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. And thank you so much for participating. Actually, before I go away from here, let me just look at some of the comments. Now, let me look at some of the comments. The one I am loves Top Hanks. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking in here and people completely agree. People completely agree. Let me go look over on YouTube. Yep, facts are facts. We don't care about your feelings. 100%. The truth is the truth. And I think and that's why people get really irritated with me. Because I tell the truth. I don't have no reason to lie to you. There's no benefit in me lying. I don't see any benefit. Do you see? I mean, some people go, well, the liberals, they see benefit in lying because they have an agenda to try to get across. So they lie to everybody. Just like, for example, one of the biggest lies that they're saying right now, the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is going to prevent Black people from being able to vote. It's going to prevent Black people from getting an ID when every Black person has an ID. Show me one single Black person that doesn't have an ID that can't vote. Show me one. They never can produce it. Pull my ID out. So when they say this, they only saying it to fearmonger. That's the only reason why they say it. They say it to fearmonger. And they want people to believe it. Now, I want to share something else with you really quick. And this has to do with talking about the SAVE Act and talk about voting this come November. James Tallarico, this dude is evil. I don't think you can get any more evil than this dude. Well, you probably can, but he's pure evil. He's sitting in this interview with these black people, and I want y'all to listen to what they're saying. Listen closely. Listen closely. If you are a Christian, you need to listen to this. Do I have your attention? Watch.
I believe that cultural Christianity is dead. That the Christians now, from sea to shining sea, are the mean people.
Are you hearing this? Cultural Christianity, he said, is dead. Meaning that for those of you that believe in God's word, for those of you that believe what the scriptures say, that type of thinking, believing what the scripture tell us, is dead. This is what he's saying. This is exactly what he's saying. And then he's saying that, let me take it back, because you got to listen to this. This is so evil, pure evil.
I believe that cultural Christianity is dead. That the Christians now, from sea to shining sea, are the mean people.
No, we're the mean people.
And if it's not true in every case, it's certainly true in the case of people who have power, who move policy, who influence discussions culturally. That the Christians are the villains, are the mean people. If I see follower of Christ in somebody's Twitter, I know they about to say something wild. Is that true? Is cultural Christianity defining somebody as a good person, is that dead?
I don't believe it's dead, although your assessment is spot on.
The weasel, he's like, yeah, agreeing. And he goes, I don't believe it's dead, but your assessment is right on. How is it that they're sitting there saying that the Christians are the bad guys? Are you hearing this? I show this stuff all the time. All the time. I really go into really detailed about this on Rise Up on Wednesdays right here on LFA TV, first thing in the morning. I show this, and I couldn't wait to share this one with you. I might bring it up again next Wednesday, but I couldn't wait to share this with you. This is pure evil. And this is them calling out Christianity, saying Christianity is the problem. This is not the first time that these evil people have said such a thing. Not making it up. I just shared it with you. And then they want us to believe that James Tallarico, because he's going on there talking to these black people, because he got to draw the black people in. He got to get their votes here in the state of Texas. I'm not voting for James Tallarico, not because of his color, because dude is evil. Dude is pure evil. Jasmine Crackpot, she doesn't like James Tallarico. This is James Tallarico and Jasmine Crackpot is the same party that enslaved black people, and Jasmine Crackpot and James Tallarico is part of the same party that they say that they want to have black representation, black voices, but this is the same party that booted her out being a black woman and brought in James Tallarico being a white man. But yet they still support the same party. It's like this. Demons that come out of the pit of hell, they know that Satan is bad, Satan is evil. But they still go out and they do the bad and evil things themselves. And then they don't like Satan themselves because none of them like each other. They all want power, they're all greedy for it. They talk about each other. It's the same agenda with the Democrat Party. Who is the leader of the Democrat Party? Lucifer is the leader of the Democrat Party. here's Jasmine Crackpot, where she was saying when she was in her race, it was completely racist. Term of the primary, not the general election. She's going up against another Democrat, which was James Tallarico. She wasn't going up against a Republican. Republicans had nothing to do with it. Republicans were minding their own business. This was Democrats against Democrats.
The reality is that there was a lot of racist, not a lot. It was racist. It was a racist race. It is what it is, right? But we live in America.
What are you hearing from black voters that you speak to in Texas? Is there excitement in terms of turnout?
I don't think that there is excitement, but I think that...
How do you turn that around?
Well, I don't know that, like, black voters are practical.
Black voters are practical. Meaning she's saying that black voters are not going to support James Tallarico. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And again, has nothing to do with his color. Not going to do it. But with all of this happening, President Trump changing the name, Lake America, Gulf of America, and now he's talking about an ocean. I want him to do it. Let's go. Do it, President Trump. Do it. Do it. You have the authority. You have my permission. I voted for it. You got the mandate. Do it. Do it. Let's go. But with all of this happening, the Democrats can't stop President Trump. They're going to resort to what? Let me ask y'all really quick. What do you think that these evil people are going to resort to? What do you think they're going to go to? What do you think they're going to do? You're going to think, oh, everything is fine and dandy. They're not going to go to anything being violent. Now, we already know that majority of the violence that we see in the United States of America happens from those on the left. They are the violent ones. Prove me wrong. Is there anybody watching right now that can show me and prove me wrong that it's the violence that we see in the United States of America does not come from the left? It's 100% from the left. Okay. 99% is from the left. Because President Trump, again, the name change, what he's doing in the United States of America, closing the border, removing the criminals from the streets of America, this is getting them upset. And they're going to retaliate. Let me show you some of the stuff that they've been saying when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Remember when you were younger and you used to hear stories, whether it be in Greek mythology or whatever, about the fountain of youth, people constantly looking for something out there that would help them live forever or live longer? Well, kind of got something like that with Fatty 15, and it's not mythological. No, Fatty 15, this is an empty jar right here, but that's your size that you get. That's a 1 month supply. You get a 3 month supply on this deal. Fatty 15 contains something called C15. If you don't know what that is, it's an essential fatty acid that is necessary for your body's cellular generation, meaning that if you have any damaged cells, it will repair them. It'll also change the way your cells age and you will live longer. C15 does exactly that. Again, if you don't know what C15 is, definitely do some research, but it's Fatty 15, and in each and every one of these capsules that you get in Fatty 15, you're going to elevate your cells, you are going to repair your cells, and you're going to live longer. That's what it does. It slows down your aging process for healthier hair, healthier skin, balanced metabolism, deeper sleep, and 3 times more cellular benefits than omega-3 fish oils. Fatty15.com/LFA, promo code LFA. Save 15% now. That's fatty15.com/LFA, promo code LFA. Thank you very much. Back to the program.
We need Democrats who have the courage to stand up to the power brokers in our own party, let alone Trump and his goons. We don't back down. We don't back down.
Listen.
We don't back down. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high. We take them to the mud and choke them out.
Oh, so imagine if there was a Republican candidate, MAGA Republican candidate, that's running for political office and said the exact same thing he just said. Why is it that they can call for violence and they get a pass for it? Like, here's another one.
Nothing conservative about this. I mean, by definition, nothing conservative about this. This is radical rigging of a midterm election, radical rigging of an election, destroying, vandalizing
Only Americans
this democracy, the rule of law. So I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Oh, amen.
You hear this? You hear that? Here's another one.
And it is just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
Oh, really? So again, imagine if there was a MAGA Republican saying any of this. Just think about it. Oh, here's Jasmine Crackpot again.
That they talk a lot of noise, but these guys are weak. That's why they're over here trying to bully people. Bullies are always weak. The difference is they expect Democrats to kind of be the nice guys that we are. They expect us to take the punch and say thank you. Well, I am here to tell you not only are we going to punch back, but we about to beat you down. We're going to win. I'm going to tell you why we're going to win.
Now they're getting ready to beat us down. They're getting ready to beat us down. And if they can't beat us down in a decent fist fight, what do you think they're going to do next? Y'all think about what I'm showing you here. It's like me doing a hit really quick on this. Listen.
I mean, this is where the Second Amendment comes in, quite frankly, because...
Now, this is a Democrat talking about the Second Amendment. This is a Democrat.
I mean, this is where the Second Amendment comes in, quite frankly, because, what if the president was to ignore the courts? What would you do? What would we do? So,
what's the second thing you said?
Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. That's the why we have it. That's the why we have it.
Oh my goodness. One of the idiot liberals in the audience was asking, well, what is the Second Amendment? What does it say? The right to bear arms. And he's saying that if President Trump does an executive order and these courts come back and they said, no, you can't do this, President Trump, because we are above you. He is actually calling for Democrats to pick up arms. He just said it. He just said it. I mean, it goes on and on.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do, because this is about protecting democracy. And right now, as you see, D.C. has been militarized, and we were weak as Democrats, frankly.
They're all calling for violence. Every last one of them calling for violence, not just against President Trump, but against the United States of America. You remember this crazy woman here?
We will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and goddamn it, shut down the city.
So how are they going to shut down the city? How are they going to shut down the city? Why would you even say that? Why would you even say that? This is the same woman that used her body to slam up against an ICE agent. Same one. Same one. The left, they are the one that's violent. I encourage you. Show me video after video after video where it's Republicans, MAGA Republicans, calling for the same violence. You're not going to find it. Not going to find it at all.
No, it absolutely doesn't work. I'm from the hood, okay? So when a bully comes, if there are no rules, you literally have to figure it out. So Donald Trump has changed things, and people trying to do what's always been done is not going to work. And I think that's why Democrats are losing black people. That's why they're losing poor people, because poor people, all they want is for us to fight. So if you hit me in my face, I'm not going to punch you back in your face. I'm going to go across your neck.
Dude. Now, I just went through a laundry list of videos proving my point that these lunatic liberals are 100% the violent ones. And I encourage everybody that is a progressive, demonic liberal themselves to show me and prove to me where the Republicans have said the same thing. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. What it comes down to, as I've mentioned multiple times before, is that when the Republicans say the truth, or when Will Johnson says the truth, I experience this all the time. Right now, I put this picture out there, and it's just me in the store wearing my big, beautiful MAGA hat. And they have said the most despicable things. They're even talking about me playtime in a tree. Do you know what I'm talking about without the, jacking up the algorithms here? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? They even talked about me having playtime in a tree. They say the most despicable things, the most violent things. Nothing happens to them. These people say just like on YouTube, they come on there and they say the stuff, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. They say all these really colorful things about me. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. Their accounts are completely safe. But let you and I say the exact same thing verbatim that they said. Our accounts get targeted. Our accounts get triggered, banned, blocked, suspended, XYZ. On TikTok, let me give you another example. On TikTok, I did a video explaining that the Demoncrat Party has been saying the same thing that the socialists are saying today. They've said it, the exact same thing. Talking about the health care, Obama, same thing. Open borders. The Democrats have been saying the socialist talking points all of this time. They're just out in the open calling it socialism. I did a video, I put it on all the platforms, and some of them, they went somewhat viral. Put it on TikTok, it started going viral. TikTok gave me a strike because I told the truth. And the people on there, so piping mad, there's people inside of the company of TikTok that's upset with me for telling the truth. They say that I am inciting violence. Again, when you tell the truth to the radical leftist lunatic liberals, no matter what it is, 2 + 2 = 4, they start feeling violent towards you. They said you're the cause of the violence. You understand what I'm telling you? I think, I've tried to explain this so many times. I say 2 + 2 = 4. They say I'm causing the violence because now they're in their feelings and they want to be violent towards me, but I'm the one who caused it because I told the truth. It's like this across the board with everything. Why do you think they get so upset with you and so violent with you because you don't go along with this man in a dress being a woman? They get angry with you. For those of you that don't know the story, I went out to the Tesla, the takedown Tesla events that they were having. And there was this dude out there. I wasn't even saying nothing to him. And then he started yelling at me. And I said, sir, I'm not talking to you. I can clearly see it's a man, but he's trying to be something else. And I said, sir, I'm not talking to you. The feminist white liberals, they wanted to hit me because I would not call him something else other than him. And I told, and the white dude liberal go, you need to have some respect, dude. I said, dude, I respect reality. If he wants to be that way, I'm not going to stop him. He gets to do what he wants to do, but you're not going to force me to play along. So then they wanted to get violence toward me because I'm sticking with the truth. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Does anybody understand? Yeah, I've told that story multiple times. It's like this one here. You got Scott Jennings, and I have a lot of respect for Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings, he goes on the Communist News Network, and he's sitting down there with the paddle with Abby. And Abby, she is completely off her rocker, if you ask me, my personal opinion. She doesn't know from right from left, right? She don't know where she's going, none of that. But Scott Jennings is breaking it down on her, and she gets butthurt. Why? Because it's all the truth that he's telling.
That they have given up
no evidence.
On
the entire region is allied against
that. They have given up.
Are you disputing that the entirety of the Middle East is not aligned against Iran thanks to the president?
You are talking about something completely different.
No, you said their influence in the region. Their influence in the region is dramatically diminished.
I'm not talking
They have no navy. They have no military. They have no allies. They have no economy, and they export no oil. Do you not know these things?
Who are you talking about? Because I'm talking
Iran.
I'm talking about their proxies. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the nation of Iran and its ability to do anything. They cannot export a barrel of oil today, and you think they're emboldened? That is crazy talk.
I'm talking about
I'm surprised she, let me take it back. I would be surprised if Abby did not go and say he needs to be removed from the show. Because he said he's called me crazy. He called me crazy. And they're going, no, he's saying this crazy talk. He's not necessarily calling you crazy, just saying the statements and stuff that you're saying is crazy. But of course, she wouldn't take it that way. No, he's talking about me. He's talking about me. I would agree with her. She is. See, they don't want to hear anything about the truth. Nothing for them relates to the truth. And I know we live in a world where people are struggling with the truth these days. I know people have a hard time recognizing what truth is because the truth is not in them. And then they get upset when we don't want to go along with it. It's like the most bizarre time ever. It's like it's like you really can't even explain it. How wild these people are. And then, of course, they always got to make everything about color. I'm so sick and tired talking about color. Now, when y'all watch me, I don't emphasize and talk about, well, you know what Will Johnson, black man, black man, black man, black man, black man, black man, black man. We are Americans. That's what it comes down to. We are Americans. Color has nothing to do with it. I think I've made it abundantly clear that I could care less about color. I'm not controlled by color. I don't allow color to dictate my life. I don't wake up feeling like a color. I do wake up feeling like Will Johnson. But these lunatic liberals, they want everyone to feel like the color is the most important thing ever. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. You have Don Sourpuss Lemon, because you remember Don Sourpuss Lemon. He was removed from the Communist News Network. And I want you to hear what he says about CNN, because he's talking about CNN. Now, there's enhanced language in here. I apologize for not removing it. Okay, so please forgive me. Please forgive me. Okay.
And I had to untrain myself from the things that I had learned in corporate media about thinking 85 times before I said something. I didn't have to do that. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I can say that. And you're probably going to beep it, maybe not. I don't think so. But I could never say that. I could never do that in corporate media. I could never do what I did today in corporate media by saying, look, I'm going to tell you, I feel the spirit of Malcolm X coming over me when we talk about the ballot and the bullet. And Plymouth Rock, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. I could not have that energy because people would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. I could not tell people that this issue is a white people problem right now. This is not just rich against poor, because most people who voted for Donald Trump are not rich. These are white people, co-opted, poor and working class white people who put this man in office. And if I had said that, on corporate media, oh my gosh, you're a race baiter. Anchors shouldn't be saying that.
You know what I just thought about? I should have picked up the video where Don Lemon was on CNN saying that white men were the biggest problem in this country. Do y'all remember that? I don't need to go look that up, do I? And show it to you again, because I'm pretty sure you're tired of looking at him right now. You remember he said that. This is after he married a white man. So he was always saying racist stuff on CNN. So now he's literally blaming CNN for not being there any longer because they did not want him to say what he wanted to say about white people. Dude is disgusting. It's always about race with these people. Every single time. It's like they can't go a day, they can't go a year without acknowledging that they are the ones that's causing all of the problems. As I was mentioning to you earlier, I put these posts out there, and it's just pictures with me in the store wearing my big, beautiful MAGA hat, right? And they're putting all these things on there saying, you know, white people, they still hate you, Will Johnson. And I'm like, how do you know what white people like and dislike? Are you one of them that dislike me? I mean, how is it that they all of a sudden, they know what white conservatives like? How do they know what you like? Is there anybody white right now watching me that dislike me because I'm a black man wearing a MAGA hat? Is there anybody white upset with me? Let's say I take it off. Does this make a difference? Do you hate me now? You like me? You love me? You hate me. You love me? You hate me. You love me? You hate me. Stupid liberals. Stupid liberals. I think people judge Will Johnson based on what I do, what I say, who I am, my character. I give white people credit that they can differentiate between the difference between stupidity of liberals and black people or just wanting to be Americans. I give people credit, just like I give women credit for being able to go vote. I give them credit. And when I say that, they know how to do their paperwork. I give them credit. You know Terrence Williams? I got Terrence Williams on my phone number. I can actually call him. Yo, T. But look, he does this video, and there's a lot of liberals that feel this way because President Trump, he's in office. He's not doing any business dealings, but his children and his stockbroker that's actually doing stuff. President Trump, his name is still making money. They are all bent up about President Trump making money. They're all bent up about it. But watch this. Typical liberal. Typical liberal.
The fucking money! You hear me? It's the fucking money! He's pocketing all of it, and you and I are spending it at the rate of $1 trillion every fucking 5 months.
Somebody come get that granny.
Get her. Get her.
How much? $1 trillion is?
Somebody come. Is anybody back there? Come get y'all granny.
If we tried to pay it back,
I know somebody back there. Come get y'all granny.
It would take 2,738 fucking days.
Whoa.
No, not days. Years.
Now I know some y'all got grandma in here acting a fool.
Folks, I don't know about you, but that scares the beat Jesus out of me.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. That is 100% TDS. I mean, 100% TDS. I mean, my goodness. She needs some ointment. Because you know the backside is chapped. She needs some ointment, some TDS ointment. But the thing is, all of them, they feel like she. I mean, President Trump changing the name, they feel like that. They all feel like that. She's just expressing. Woo. Woo. Look. Somebody get us some help. Oh my goodness. See, you know what? They make it easy. They really do. They make it easy. If you don't want us to acknowledge and talk about you doing this stuff like this, stupid liberals, then, maybe send out the telegram. Okay, if you're going to do this, don't do it on camera. Because that's how they all feel. They're all mad. They're all piping mad. Woo! I hope that was good for you, right? I mean, look, I had to watch that a couple of times because it was funny. Oh, my goodness. I love my country. I'm going to continue wearing my big, beautiful MAGA hat. I've been wearing it a lot here lately. I got my cowboy hat around here somewhere. But I said, I'm going to wear my MAGA hat because I'm free to do so. And they tell me that I shouldn't be able to wear the MAGA hat. Or if I'm going to wear the MAGA hat, that I shouldn't be able to wear it with dreadlocks. How dare you? I'm like, what does my hair got to do with it? It has nothing to do with it. Nothing. It's like, oh my goodness, you're black. Like they own hairstyle. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. All right, everybody, that's it for me. Ooh-wee. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kevin Smith, Loud Majority, coming up next on LFA TV. God bless everybody. I will see you Monday in the Culture Wars. God bless.